Don't forget that the Dooney Secret coaching website, the live link is below in the description here. And if you want to earn more money, if you want to book more shows, if you want to do a better job for the groups that you're working for, in other words, if you want more success at being a professional fun guy, fun girl, joy bringer, then Dooney will help you. One-on-one coaching starts at $300 and it's worth every cent. And not only that, but it's a money back guarantee. Hope to see you there. So now I'm going to show you two one balloon frogs, just because what I feel like I should do is just put this all on tape. I want, I don't know, I'm not producing any more books. The two places where I learned these are probably not in print anymore. So I thought, what the heck, I might as well put them up, right? They're not the multi-balloon sculptures, they're one balloon sculptures. Because when I was doing balloons in restaurants, 1,500 balloons a week, 5 nights a week for 15 years, which it's hard to think of all of those terms of numbers because really it was 20 years ago was when I stopped doing that. I specialized in one balloon animals. So I'm just going to put them out here for you. I hope you like them. If you do, like them and share them and use them. So the first frog I really love because it's completely different. And that's why I love it so much. It's completely different. So it's almost a fully inflated balloon, okay? I pretty much leave about 4 fingers left at the end. Now proportions are always the hardest. So you're gonna have to figure out where your end is, all right? You can always adjust proportions as you go along, but the concept first, proportions come with practice. Multiple frogs, you get better at your proportions. So just go for the concepts first. All right, so I'm making a little ball. That's going to be on the back of his head. 2 big eyes. So those are going to be the frog's eyes. So it's just like a dog head now, but those are going to be the frog's eyes. Then a bend tie. Just a bend tie. So I'm not twisting this, I'm just bending it. And I want it to be, I don't know, 4 fingers. Yeah, let's say it's 4 fingers big. All right, and I always make that second twist so that when I lock these together, they won't squeeze and they won't change. I want to keep this nice and stiff, as stiff as I can. So I line up the ball behind the eyes. I line up the eyes on the top. This is basically the mouth, right? Now 2 legs going down, and the legs are going to be a little bit longer than the eyes. Not much, but a little bit longer than the eyes. Now this is all going to twist together. And this is where people start to think, oh no, how do you do that without making it pop? So the way to do it is always to pull it apart. You pull it apart. I'm pulling this way, pulling it apart and twisting it around. So by pulling it apart, it releases the friction. There's no friction anymore. All right. So this starts to look like a big mouth. Okay. But that's not exactly how it's going to work. But that's what it's supposed to look like. 2 eyes, big mouth, 2 legs. Okay. This is going to be the back of the frog. And we want the back of the frog to come just short of the legs. So not all the way, just a little bit short. Okay. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but when I first twisted it, I didn't like where I put it. I felt like I made it too short. So right then I backed it off and I retwisted it again, because when you're adjusting your proportions, do it along the way. You can do it along the way to help you get to where you want to be. So I'm hoping that I'm almost at the end here. All right. That whole end is going to be the last bend here. All right. Now, I don't know, could be 5 years since the last time I made this frog. So the proportions, that's a little bit big for me. That's a tiny bit big for me. We'll see how it looks when it's all together. So what I'm going to do is put these in between here. Actually, that'll be fine. That'll be good. So those go inside there, similar to my bunny rabbit legs, right? And then what I'm going to do is twist this mouth. I want it to come out like behind these legs and around these legs and back here. So instead of sticking out, I want it to come back and wrap around. So all I do is I stick it around those legs, and then I bring the eyes like that. So it came out of the bottom because I realized I should have done that first. That's how long it's been since I did this. So what you get is you get an animal that looks like that. So that I pulled the eyes up into that little circle. So the eyes have to come up into that little circle. The legs have to come up into that little circle. So you pull them up into there and get them to stay. All right. There we go. Now, it doesn't much look like a frog, but when you add the eyes on it and a big frog mouth, now you got a frog. I could probably take my stickers. I have my stickers over there. I will do that. I'll put the stickers on it too, just so you can see it. But there you go. Okay. Now we're going to do a second frog. And this one's a little one. Doesn't matter because I'm going to cut most of this off. It's just I'm only going to use about this much of this. Okay. So I do the knot into the balloon. And I call this the apple tie because there used to be an apple that you made out of that. So I stick my finger in, and again, the way I do that, and the reason I say again is because I've done this in other videos. I hold this hand as support. I stick my finger in and it goes into my hand. If I'm holding my hand over here and I'm trying to push this in, it's very difficult to get it in. So just hold your hand here and put that all the way in, a full finger length. Grab the knot. So now I'm holding the knot and I want to push this off of my finger. Oops, I popped it. So I'll do it again. So that's what you get for going in and out and playing around and showing people instead of just making the animal. All right, finger in, grab the knot, pull your finger out. And what you'll get is you'll get that kind of a look. Twist that off, and you want to twist it so that the circle of the end of the balloon, the rubber little circly part, this part right here winds up on that side. So that part is on that side. It's stretched. You can see the balloon stretched inside from end to end. Now what I'm going to do, the reason you do that is because as long as that knot's in the other side, it'll hold it. Okay. Now I'm doing little tiny twists. Little tiny twists. 6 of them in a row. So 6 balls in a row, and lock those off. Okay. So now this is similar to the bracelet that I did, the watch. I'm going to twist each of these sets of 2 together. So I'm going to hold 2, the first 2, so that they're by themselves, so that I can pull that out and twist 2 together. Okay. Now I'm going to take the next 2 in a row, twist those. And the last 2, twist those a couple of times. Okay, so now by twisting those, that is now going to be tight enough that I can cut this, let the air out, cut it off. All right, so I gave away my balloon cutter 2 or 3 days ago because I was training a new gal for a gig this weekend. And I gave her my balloon cutter, so I'll have to make another one. That's what happens is it's not that I wear mine out. I give them away to people I'm training. All right, so what I've got now is I've got this little green, all these little balls at the bottom, and then this thing at the top. Now I could make that look like a frog. Kind of got a smile to it. But this is what makes it, in my opinion. I'm going to squeeze just a tiny little circle here at the top. And I'm just using my fingertips to make a tiny little circle at the top. Just the fingertips. It's going to be tight, but if you use your fingertips, you'll be okay. Now I'm going to divide that in half. Fingertips again, turning one direction with one hand, turning the other direction with the other hand. All right. And what happens is you get two frog eyes on the top of your frog. So now you can see the stretch of that balloon on the inside there. What I want to do is move that towards one side. I want to move that so that it comes to one side instead of straight up in the middle. All right. Pull the eyes down. And what you've got is you've got a little frog. Here's his eyes. It's great as far as I'm concerned that they're googly eyes. What the heck? They're frog eyes, right? A smile. I make a little V on the back, and I usually put 3 spots here. So that you get 3 little spots on the back. Okay, and what you've got is you've got a little googly frog. A little frog. So you have a big frog and a little frog. There you go. 2 frogs. I hope you enjoy them. Have a great day. I'm going to just keep throwing these up here. See you later.